Hello and welcome to the next episode of The Local Lens. I'm your host, Katrina Carmo. I'm a local realtor and I'm interviewing businesses, small businesses in New Bedford to give them the opportunity to tell their story and let the community get to know them better. And I'm having a great time here with Nathaniel Ellis from Flip This Dollhouse. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm really
I am
excited.
this is going to be my favorite. I am so excited to be here today. Before we get started with the interview, I want to share a personal story. My grandmother, before she passed quite a few years ago, I would go and visit her. She was, kind of lonely. I would go and spend some time with her. Our big deal was she was renovating a dollhouse. So the big deal was to go to the local hobby shop and shop for a couple of new pieces of furniture or accessories. And it's a memory that I have so cherished. It's so close to my heart. And that's what, if I could bring her back for one day, I would bring her here.
Mm-hmm.
She would spend all day just looking at these things. So this one is near and dear to my heart. So Nathaniel, tell us a little bit about, you're in the Kilburn Mills building. What brought you here? What got you here? Tell us your story.
So I've been fascinated with dollhouses since I was a little boy, and I wanted one growing up, but I never really put it on my Christmas list. So when I turned 18, I started collecting them, and I had quite a large collection going, so I turned it into a business about 13 years ago. So 21 years I've been collecting, 13 years I've been selling as a business. Well, I ended up growing up to be an interior designer for real homes. That's how I've made my living. This is a hobby that I turned into a business. And it surprised me and took off when I opened this shop 5 years ago. I opened with a bang. I think 100 people showed up to my grand opening, and I was inspired. So I've been here at the Kilburn Mill in New Bedford for 5 years, and I'm hoping that I can do this the rest of my life.
That was a big leap of faith. Like,
It was.
who would think that, dollhouse furniture would be, big market item?
Well, I was my biggest naysayer. If you had told me that I should open a dollhouse shop even 5.5 years ago, I would have said, "Are you crazy?" But here I am, and so far, so good.
It's a fabulous shop. So tell us, we're going to walk around because I can't just sit here with him. We have to look at what's here because it's amazing. Tell us a little bit. So someone comes in, they buy a house, an empty house
Yeah.
that has been, and there's various designs, right?
Yeah.
They look like real houses.
Yeah. So I've got about 100 dollhouses in stock, and I try to make sure I've got something for everyone, all different styles, themes, price ranges, sizes. And I call it Flip This Dollhouse because what it means is you pick out a dollhouse, you make it your own. Maybe you repaint it in your favorite color. Maybe you get a new front door for it. Maybe you pick out all the furniture that you wish you had in real life, but you put it in your dollhouse. So a lot of people will buy one of my dollhouses empty. Sometimes they'll buy it partially furnished. Sometimes they buy it fully furnished. And I offer free complimentary design services with the purchase of one of my dollhouses. So when someone buys a dollhouse from me, I love helping them furnish it and decorate it. And I always tell my customers, adding furniture to a house makes it look staged, but adding accessories makes it look lived in.
Like a home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so exciting. So you have all kinds of things to put in the house. You have furniture, roofing
Mm.
materials, flooring, wallpaper, everything,
Yeah,
right?
basically anything that you put in a real house, you can put in a dollhouse. The scale that I sell is 1/12 scale, so that means 1 inch equals 1 foot. And it's the mainstream scale within the hobby, so that means everything that you can imagine is made in this scale. So, I mean, if you can imagine it, it probably exists.
Oh, how much fun.
Mm.
So we are going to end this portion and we're going to pick it up at the front of the store and we're going to do a little walkthrough and he's going to explain his streets
Mhm.
and all the different styles. It's going to be so much fun. So hang on. So we are back. We're going to do a little tour of this amazing place. Go ahead, Nathaniel.
Welcome to Flip This Dollhouse, the largest dollhouse shop in the world, right here in New Bedford, Massachusetts at the Kilburn Mill. I'm going to show you around. There are about 100 dollhouses in here at any given time, and we have over 30,000 pieces of furniture and accessories in stock, so that we always make sure we have something for everyone, all different styles and themes. And what we do is we organize the shop by street, and each street holds a different type of house. So this first street here is Cottage Lane. This is where we keep the small to medium-sized houses, the cottages. These are the houses that actually sell most often. A lot of people start off with a small to medium-sized house. Some people like larger houses, but if it's your first one, sometimes it's good to start off with a starter size. So that's the first row, Cottage Lane. The second street here we call Mansion Avenue. So this is where we keep the larger houses. Usually in the dollhouse world, if a dollhouse has 7 rooms or more, it's considered a mansion. And it can take up a lot of room. So here's an example right here of a dollhouse that we flipped. So this was completely designed by myself and my team, and then we did all the work. So you can see we added flooring and wallpaper, working lights in every room. We picked out all of the colors to make sure everything was going to coordinate.
So you make these look like a real house.
Yeah, and when I do a dollhouse, I don't try to just make the room coordinate. I try to make the whole thing coordinate. I think of it like an outfit. You see it all at once, so you want it to look good as a whole. You know, in real life, when you've got a house with an open floor plan, you want it all to flow. If the rooms are really sectioned off, then it doesn't have to necessarily flow as much, but I think it's more pleasing to the eye when it all coordinates.
I'm going to tell you right now, when I do mine, it is not going to coordinate. I'm going to have a different theme in every room.
Yeah, that's fun too. I tell people when it's your first dollhouse, you should just do what you want. I've owned 400 dollhouses in 21 years, and I've sold about 300 of them. So in the beginning, I would just do what I like. I would pick out my favorite furniture pieces. I didn't care about style or era or theme. Now I try to stick to a certain theme or era or style.
Walk down here.
Yeah, so working your way down Mansion Avenue, we have everything you can imagine, from farmhouses to colonials. Every single house is staged with furniture and accessories that are for sale. So everything inside of our houses is for sale individually and has a price on it.
Oh, this is a beauty.
Yeah, this contemporary house right here was actually designed by me and custom built by a builder that works exclusively with my shop. So I designed the floor plan and the elevation on paper pretty crudely because I'm not an architect. I'm an interior designer by trade. But then I also designed the interior. For this house, I was thinking kind of rustic, contemporary, a little farmhouse, very neutral, very little color. And right now, that's a really big style. Neutral designs. Rustic is very popular.
We got a little Halloween house.
Yeah, we make sure to have a couple haunted houses all year round. The holidays never end here at Flip This Dollhouse. Recently, we've been working on some witch dolls, so we actually made this witch doll this week.
Oh, she's cute.
This house here is actually a beach house that we completely flipped. It's a southern colonial that we thought would make a nice beach house. So you'll notice all the colors flow. White, blue, green, yellow, teal, and very beachy. A lot of white furniture. This house has working lights in every room and real paintings in a lot of the rooms. Yeah, we use battery lights in most of our houses. You can do electric, but we love the convenience of the battery lights because you can put them wherever you want.
Right, that makes sense.
Right? This house right here is one of my favorites. The structure was also designed by me, the floor plan and the elevation. And after doing dollhouses for 21 years, I've got a good feel of what people like and what I like. So we actually make these dollhouses with movable walls, so you could set up the rooms however you want, size-wise. But then this one, I came up with a story for this house. This is owned by a single woman in Manhattan, and we call it the luxury townhouse. And if you look at the house, everything's very neutral, but also kind of luxurious looking. So we imagine that she's a world traveler. So she's got items from her travel, like this little elephant here. Up here, she's got a mammoth tusk that we actually made in store. And she doesn't have any color in the house. Her pop of color is the golds and the brasses. This fireplace here in the living room, we actually painted it with real gold leaf.
Oh, that is cool.
This is one of my favorites, and we sell out of this house constantly in the store and online. But as soon as I sell something out of this house, I have to replace it because I'm just so proud of this house. I like to
So
keep
if
it looking
somebody wanted to
perfect.
buy this eagle,
It's available. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, everything's for sale individually, and I love it when something sells because then I get to redecorate it.
Right.
This one we call the Easter house. It's all pastel colors. And inside and out, it's pastel colors. We painted the outside. It's a Queen Anne Victorian with a wraparound porch.
So you could have your more Halloween.
Right?
Ooh.
This is our haunted witch house. And what's fun about doing a haunted house is you almost can't make a mistake.
Right.
If you do make a mistake, you just say that was on purpose. So this house actually came in and it was in such rough shape that we were like, what are we going to do with it? Haunted house.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
This row here that we're looking at now is called Fixer Upper Row. This is where I keep some of the houses that need a little bit of love. You know, my business is called Flip This Dollhouse. So right here, here's a good example of a fixer-upper. It's a solid colonial. It needs some shingle work, but it's got all the doors and windows. It's got a nice siding color, but you could really make it your own. And that's what's fun about this hobby. Some people can't afford necessarily to fix up their house in real life,
Right.
but
So
they can in miniature.
Right. So
right?
you use your imagination and have your dream house.
Right. This is one of the most beautiful houses in the shop.
That is.
We call it the Cinderella house. Sometimes we call it the wedding cake house, but it's just gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
It's completely custom. It was made from a kit, but the person that made it customized every inch of it, and it's just beautiful.
Let's go in the other room.
Sure. We have furniture departments all the way around the store. This is our dining room department. We have building supplies such as doors, windows, etc. And then this room we call the museum. The reason we call it the museum is because it's where I put some of the more special houses. On the left side of the room, everything's for sale. And on the right side of the room is a private collection on display from our biggest customer. We have one gentleman who has purchased 16 dollhouses from our shop, and I'm his interior designer. So I help him decorate every room in all of these houses, and everything you see here was purchased from my shop.
Oh, fun.
So I use
what
it.
What is coming up? What's next for this dollhouse?
So we've had some really exciting things happen recently. We've had some dollhouses on TV, on HBO's The Gilded Age. We had, recently we sold dollhouse furniture that was in a Taylor Swift video. It was a backdrop video on her tour. So every night of her tour, there was a dollhouse that is on the screen and it burns to the ground with our furniture in it. So that was exciting.
Very.
You know, when someone tells me they're going to burn dollhouse furniture, I would normally cringe. But when I found out it was Taylor Swift, I thought, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Right.
But all these exciting things, I also had dollhouses on ABC on a show called The Fatal Flaw. Every episode of the show features one of our dollhouses fully staged by us. All of these exciting things led to the possibility of us having our own reality show.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Very. So I've actually...
Daniel, it has been such a pleasure being here with you today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's see if we can flip this around. Does that flip around? Nope, it doesn't. Okay, so we're just going to have to leave it at this.
Yeah.
So, Nathaniel, we're going to say goodbye for now. Come in, check the store out. It's amazing. It's fun, even if you don't collect dollhouses.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fun, feel-good kind of place to be.
Thanks so much for watching. Come in and check out our shop. We're open Wednesdays to Sundays from 10 to 5. And even if you're not interested in buying a dollhouse, it's quite a spectacle. You've got to come in and see it. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone. That wraps up another episode of The Local Lens. Thank you for taking the time to learn about these incredible individuals who are shaping the local landscape. Be sure to help these businesses thrive by shopping local and leave a review by clicking on the link below the interview. If you enjoyed the conversation today, it would mean a great deal to us to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to the show to get notified of new episodes. And if you know of any businesses that might want to be featured, please share this video. I'm Katrina Carmo and I'm a local realtor. If you are looking for someone to guide you with your real estate needs, I would be happy to help. May your days be filled with sunshine and your dreams take flight. Signing off, good vibes.